Hello everyone, welcome back to raigurukul.com. Today we have an exciting and comprehensive tutorial in store for you. We will dive deep into Jira project management. Whether you are new to Jira looking to refine your skills, this video help you in detail. We'll walk you through every steps from creating a project till closing successfully within this video. So if you wanted to learn Jira from scratch, please be available from start to end of this video. We'll try to cover as much as possible from project kickoff till the closer. If you wanted to learn Jira in detail, I've already created one course which is available on raigurukul.graphy.com. You can easily access this course from here, where I've already covered in detail about Jira for Scrum Master and Project Manager. This will help you to understand how we can use Jira from Scrum perspective. In this video, we'll guide you through how we can start any projects from Jira till the closure of projects. So let's get started. So there are total 10 steps, out of which 5 are very important when we are starting with scratch. These 5 steps is helping us to first add all those project requirements within Jira, and rest all is for the management as well as documentation. So here we'll see how we can add any projects within our Jira project management tool, as well as manage from start to end of the project. Now, first is creation of project. This is the first step which normally we are using when we are starting for the project. But before that, we also require to do a lot of preparations work. And these preparations works are not only related with the project kickoff, as well as the final conclusions, which all functionality we are building. It means discussion with all the stakeholders who is involved within this project, define team size, how much time it will take, it means the durations, and finally the environment, which all environment we will use it. Once all those done, then we are starting with project creation, and this project creation will be done by administrator. It means Jira administrator. Now here, from this sections, you can create a project. And whenever you're creating projects, you will get the detailed templates, which is available in Jira project management tool. Based on your project domain, you can select this. Otherwise, simply go ahead with the software development project, select any of the boards. These boards are normally suggested by Scrum coaches, or as I was mentioning, these methodologies will be suggested by Scrum coach or Agile coach, or based on the expert opinion you can select. This is not only with the based on expert opinions, you can also consider your team skill set. If team are comfortable enough to work in Scrum, it's always suggested to go ahead with this comfortability. But totally depending on your requirement, you can go ahead and select the board. As of now, I'm selecting Scrum board. Here, once you'll select the templates, it will give you issue types. If you want to modify it, you can simply modify it from Jira administrations. Use this template, and for the detailed explanations, you can refer my Jira playlist or Jira course, which is available on raigurukul.graphy.com. I will include the URL in description tab so that it will be easy for you to refer. Now here I'm going ahead with this team managed project or company managed project. I will set company managed project. I will specify the project name. So end-to-end demo, I will give name. Here we have selected Scrum board. Click on next, and this will take few seconds for the configurations. Till the time this will be ready, let's understand which all requirements are needed before starting with this. Now here we got the place where we can integrate with Confluence. If you have the document repository available other than Atlassian, you can uncheck this. Otherwise, if you are using Confluence as your document repository, you can click this, create a space, and then connect it. Now, this will take few seconds and we will have the space available. So let me skip this as a connections, and now we are getting this board is available. I was talking about the quizzes needed for creating a board. We will need set of teams in Scrum, where Scrum managers, Scrum master is managing all those Scrum calls or artifacts which is available in Agile, like DSU, then sprint planning, then retrospective meetings. Offering all those meetings, Scrum Master will be required. Sometimes in some of the organizations, project manager and Scrum Masters are same, totally depending on the team size. But if we have the Scrum Master, it's good to have. Now, other than that, we also need product owner who is actually guiding the team to start with project and drafting all the backlogs item. Next, we need set of developers who is building all those requirements which is generated by product owner. And next, we'll need QA and UAT team. Sometimes UAT team is an integral part of our team, but in few of the organizations or depending on the projects, UAT will be done by the end user or the stakeholders who has given this requirement. Next item, we will need QA team. QA team is closely working with the development team and they are testing all those artifacts or all those backlogs which is built by the development, and post that they will move into the UAT. So this is a team setup needed for any projects. Next line item, normally we are needing environment. So development and QA environment can be shared, but basically depending on the needs, it's not always recommended to use shared environment. Otherwise, we might get some glitches or some of the stuffs are not working, which is exactly working in the development. UAT team environments, normally we are using exactly replica of production environment. So wherever we are moving that product or applications into productions, same productions replica environment will be needed for UAT. Then we have to finalize the product language and everything where we are doing the development. All those setups will be done before creating this project, where business analyst will connecting with each of the team members to get the requirements, to get the timelines, how much time it will take in. And after that, we are jumping directly into the Scrum. So Scrum Master facilitates all those artifacts, and it's not always required to have Scrum Master independently. Sometimes project manager is managing Scrum's activity. So here, once everything is ready, it means once the platform is ready, we are jumping on Jira. Now, once the project is created, normally we are dividing the team structure. Let's consider here we have 4 developers, 2 QA team and 2 UAT. So normally testing team is exactly half of the development team. So if we have 2 developers, 1 tester will be required in QA and 1 will be in UAT. Now, to draft the requirements, normally product owner is building backlogs. Either they are building the backlog item based on the priority in Excel and uploading it to here. Other than that, they can also create all those backlog items directly in Jira. Now, before they will start with this, they will finalize the structures with the help of Scrum Master and Agile Coach. How they want to proceed. They want features, user story, what will be the timeline, what will be the sprint size, and how much based on the durations or based on the timelines, they will draft it. let's consider standard approach where we will have epic user story, task, subtask, and issues. I mean bug. So if we have this structure, so Scrum Master, with the help of Scrum Master, product owner will draft all those backlogs and they will prioritize the line items. Now, to create it, let me add few of the epics, and based on that, we'll proceed it further. So first epic I will not take any project's name, or maybe we can just take the project name of company A, where we have features like uploading documents, then sending out email. Third is creating a dashboards or reports, and fourth will be sending notifications to the team. So let's consider this small example, and based on that, we can design complete board here. So first epic will be email, or maybe we can just create document upload. Now next item I want email. Third will be report generation. Fourth will be notifications. Now we have 4 epic, and this epic size will be based on the standard approach. Let's consider here, normally we want to finish this epic within a month. So project owner or product owner will add the user story within this epic. So document upload. So maybe let's consider multiple file format. So Excel file format. Then I will use Word, then PDF, MP4, and let's consider any other format, then documentations maybe. Other than that, we can also use text. So these are the story. After this, email, sending email to each of the items. So email for Excel, email for PDF, email for Word, email for MP4. Next, we want email for text. Now, we have created user story. You can see the color codes and all those color codes and everything will be defined in the initial stages where we are doing the discussions. Next line item I want for the report. So report will be generated for each of the team-wise report, then we want environment-wise. Next item I want to create the report on visibility, country specific, and finally company wise. Now after that, notifications. So notifications, when we are sending notifications to the team, maybe delete notifications, whenever any delete will be done, delete notifications, upload notification. Then we can also set notifications, modified notification, and lastly, I will add here. So I wanted to keep this simple enough so that I will just create these many items. Whenever you will create from the timeline, you'll also see items available here. So wherever we have created, all those items is tagged with the parent item, and you can see the status is to do. Now here, in whenever we will add this, we have to just add sprint. So as of now, we have not created the sprint. Let's create the sprint, and then we'll move line item to each of the sprint. Now to create the sprint, here we'll have the options create sprint. There is by default one sprint will be created. So ET sprint 1, I will add here one more sprint where ET sprint 2 and third sprint will be ET sprint 3. Normally, whenever we are moving items or the backlog items into the sprints, we have to first understand the velocity of the team or team's capacity. So team's capacity will be calculated earlier, and based on the team's capacity, we can add it. All those informations you will get it in my course. Here, I just wanted to cover within our everything end-to-end process, how we can generate the boards. So this time we are on step 2, where we are creating line items and then managing it, which is the third. Now we have started with managing our backlog items. So here, let me move this item into sprint 1, because this will be in sprint. And whenever I will move, this will be auto tagged with the sprint. So I don't have to go one by one and update it. Here you can see this item is not tagged with any sprint, but when I will open or update or move into the sprint, it will be having sprint available. So here, more fields within this, you can see this. As of now, we have not added story pointers as well. So we'll add the story pointer afterwards. Let me move items into the sprint. But it's always suggested to add the story pointer earlier so that you can calculate your team's capacity. So here we'll update this third, and fourth one will be now. When I will refresh this, you will have this item tagged with any sprint. Now you can see sprint is added successfully. Next part, I want to move this into sprint 2. Let me move it quickly. We can also update sprint item into bulk. Not able to add within this. Now we'll update all those issues with story pointer 3. I'm randomly adding this value, but based on the product owner's specifications and functionality weightage, you can add all those estimations. So here again, we'll navigate it down and change the not sprint story points 3. Click on next. And now we are updating till 12. Confirm this and we will have story pointer available for all those 6 issue types. When we are creating a user story, that time we can also divide the user story into subtasks, which we will see it after this. Now we'll update till this one to 8. Next, edit issues. Now this is done. We'll go back to all those issues, all my open issues, and we'll see how we can add the task and subtask within that user story. So this part is fifth part, where we are organizing all those issues into small parts so that team can work effectively. So working on these issues will be very helpful. So we'll go to the projects and the backlog items, and here I will just add few of the tasks and subtasks. After that, that will be exactly same for the other team member. Now let's consider we have 3 teams. One is developer, second is QA team, and third is UAT. So in that case, when we are working with user story, let me open it into new tab. Now here we'll get subtask options, but you can also create into task as well. Let's create subtask within that user story. So subtask for the developer. So I will just add subtask for developer. Dev subtask, because all those team will work and based on that they will add their effort. But here also you can add from here, you can add it. So here UA subtask, then UAT subtask, and based on the progress, this task will be updated automatically. So this is done. Let me move and show you the update. So this, I want to move it in progress, and you can see immediately this subtask style will be added or updated to in progress mode. Similar way, we can also create it for this one. So here we'll add subtask. So otherwise, if you want to add task here as well, you can add the task. So from this, you can add the task. Sample task, I will just add. Now this is done. After this, we'll add subtask for here. And this subtask update will be done by each of their team members. This is not task of product owner who will update in each of the backlog, but this will be carried forward by the team members and they will add their progress or timeline within this so that they can track their progress. Subtask for dev, subtask for UAT, and then subtask for QA. Now this is done. After this, working on issues. Whenever team is working on this, they will update their work or their effort which they have done. So once subtask for the development is done, they will move it to done. Once the QA will be done, they will move this issue into UAT. And once the UAT will be done, that's the final stage where we are calling out the completion of this user story, where Scrum Master or product owner will update this user story is done. That is a part of definition of done. So this will be done and we can say that this will move into the pre-production or in the beta phase. After that, this will move into the production environment. So it means working on issues. And when this will be done, team is taking feedback. If there is any issue found, they will raise it as a defect. And this defect will be carried forward within the user story itself. So if testing team found any defect, they will log as a defect, tagging to the same project. Here, they will save it as a bug, and from there, this will be carried forward. And if any bug will be found, again, team will add their effort based on the bug. So first it will go to the development, then QA, and then UAT. So this is how it's working in progress. Now, next part, it's coming to planning or final, seeing the progress of reports, or I mean monitoring the progress. So monitoring the progress here, there are several ways we can use it. We can use it sprint reviewer or reports. So once the sprint will be done, we can see the reports. So before proceeding further with the sprint, reports, we have to just activate the sprint. And once the activated the sprint, we'll see all those line items available here. So let me go back to backlogs, and from here, we'll start the sprint. We have to define the timelines or the duration of the sprint. As of now, we are targeting 2 weeks. So here 2710 to 1110 sprint will be definition of done. That is the goal. Now that sprint is activated and you can see all those sprint line item is updated here. So here we have applied swim lane. That's the reason we are able to see here. If you don't know about the swim lanes, you can watch or opt my course where you can get detail about the swim lane. Now, whenever we will move any of this activity from one stage to the other, that status will be updated successfully and you can see it here. Now this is done. If you want to see the insight about your sprint, you can see this is the insight. Now, once everything is done, you're moving all those items into the done status. Then we can see that this sprint is completed. And if any item is pending, that can be carried forward into the next sprint. So here, if I will complete the sprint, so one item is open, that could be carried forwarded into the next sprint where we got the options. So sprint 1 is done. Now we will be able to generate the report. So if you want to see the reports, you have to jump into the reports, and from there you can see your report activities. Other than that, you can also see or track the progress from the dashboards, where you can add the dashboards actions on your Jira projects. Planning phase will help you to see all your plan. So here, if you want to see plans, you can create your own plan as well. If I wanted to create a plan, I will simply create a E to E plan, open and boards. I wanted to target as a project. So project E to E, end to end, and create. Now this plan will track all your dependencies. If you have any dependencies in this team related stuff, releases, which all releases you have, create cross project release, or if you want to keep just for the project related releases, that is also possible. Here you can follow sprint capacity management, where you can manage all your team's capacity. As of now, I'm the single person who is working in this board. So planning is normally plan where you can have everything available in one board, and you can do capacity management, basic management. Here you can see all those epic item is available. And if you have any dependency, that will be always tracked from here. So dependency post, you can also see it from here. But in timelines, you can generate the dependencies. So here, just add some items, and from here to here, let me add the second item, and from this to this, you can add the dependency. So this is how dependency will looks like. And whenever you'll jump into this, you can see the dependency. So document upload is dependent on the email. So this dependency will block your items. So if this will be blocked, you can see how many days for this will be blocked, because email we are picking at the end and the document we are picking in the beginning. This is how we can showcase the dependency. In the timeline itself, we also have top level planning, where you can see all those items with the top level view. We don't have any features as of now. We have 4 apex. Within 4 apex, how many user story we have, we can see it from here. Next, dependency management, we can see dependency management board. And finally, if you want to create a new view, that is also possible to create it by your own. So this will comes under your complete management and overview, progress overview of your board. Now let's jump into the next sections. Now I was talking about collaborations. So collaborations is normally will be handled in a Scrum call itself, where we are discussing in DSC call regular updates about the team, if they are facing any challenges or everything is sorted, what they have did yesterday and what they will pick it up today. So this will be a 15 minutes call. Every team has to follow and give their updates. This call is majorly meant for tackling challenges and taking updates from the team. The communications will be required. Each team has to take the responsibility, because we are working as an agile team. So agile team has to inform their challenges, a problem they are facing, so that team can tackle it. So it might be required any interventions from the project management team or the Scrum Master, and Scrum Master will help them to get this sorted. Communications, they are using some chat sections like Slack, Teams, Google Meet, or any other portals, totally depending on the internal messenger system. Other than that, email, and if required, team is also getting connected nowadays on WhatsApp group, where teams are regularly sharing their update. Every team has to share their update on email, which is required to get the update from each of the team members. Either they are into the development, testing, it means QA and UAT. So whenever a team will work actively, this will get sorted. Otherwise, things get pushing into the next bucket, or things getting pushed into the next step. So that is a part of collaborations and communications. Upfront communications will be required for any team members who has stuck anywhere, and Scrum Master is closely connected with these team members to get their updates. Now, resolving issues and closing projects is the eighth item where we want to understand. Now, as we seen here, as of now, we have completed the sprint. So active sprint, those are no active sprint here. Once the sprint will be completed, we can generate reports. And these reports will be giving us the responsibility or giving us the privilege to see what went well and what we have to improve it, which will be discussed at a time of retrospective meeting where team has to give the feedback and vote their options, what went well and what we have to improve it. These are learning pointers and the items which management team has to think and decide if the project is not moving properly. And this reports also giving an insight how effectively we have planned and how much time it took for us to complete it. So this is how we can generate the different reports or sprint reports, velocity charts, everything will be available here. So you can take the help of all those report items and generate the reporting sections effectively. Now, after that, once this will be done, team is moving into the review. So review is generally needed to improve our strategy. If our strategy is not working, we have to make the changes. If something not goes well or we have not tackled uncertainty, uncertainty, it means let's consider we have considered 5 development team, and during the development one of the team members moved out of the company or moved out of the project because of some critical conditions. That time we have to tackle uncertainty as well. Did we get any replacement of that employee, or we have managed to did it, but in that case the workload of that resource will be shifted to other resource which will be handled for that sprint point of view, but this cannot be taken as a regular approach. Otherwise, our project will be on risk. So all those pointers has to tackle it, and even we have to consider the uncertainty. If the uncertain environment is not meeting or not approaching our resource to handle it, then we have to think through it. If something is not happening or maybe some of the team member is not responding, we can also discuss those pointers first, talk with that person one-to-one, otherwise escalate them to their team leads. So that's the options we can have. So review and reflections will be taken care in the 9th step, and finally archiving and documentations, that is step number 10. So for documentation point of view, we can use Confluence or any other document repository which will be preferred within the organizations, and every documents will be created and shared with each of the team members. If they are struggling to get it, it means Scrum Master has to provide to each one of them, and all those data should be documented. All those files will be created at a centralized locations where team can have the access. This will also help us to manage our project in future. Let's consider any resources moving out. So that resource has to provide the KT and walkthrough. And if this documentation is already available, they didn't have to make the effort. Let's not only consider the moving out scenario from one company to the other. Let's consider that working resource got sick and he was unable to contribute within the project. Definitely we will need the replacement. In that case, we can, if we have the documentations, the new person who has joined in place of the old one, that person will be able to manage it with the help of documentation. So this will help in multiple ways. So that's all from the project point of view. And lastly, we'll explain the process of archiving the document in the future reference, where we will have every documentations will be placed and project to outcome and lessons learned for the future references. So each and every data should be collected, stored into centralized locations so that we can refer it for the future projects. And that's it about Jira project management end to end. And once everything is done, we are moving the code into productions with the help of DevOps teams. This can be automated with the help of CI/CD pipeline, that is continuous implementation, continuous development, where team has to do it through auto mode. Whenever new release will be available, it will be auto trigger. So let's understand the important tips whenever we are working with project. So first important tips will be, first, before directly jumping into the projects, we have to understand the requirement, outline all those requirements into the documentations, take the approval, so that we cannot end up in the situation of change request after the development. That will kill a lot of your time, as well as we might end up with loss from the company point of view. Next, once the approval is done, then only we can proceed ahead with the environments and other details, and finalizing the best resources with whom we are much comfortable with it. If some of the team members has worked previously in some of the in one of the projects, maybe we can decide to take it. Otherwise, we can club multiple team together and give their understanding. Once the understanding is done, if they are comfortable enough to work on this, we can start with the project. Skill set is an important part. So whenever we are working on any projects, if the team is not having the proper skill set, we have to give the training and walkthrough on this. And based on the training, we can proceed it further with the project development. Third is communications. Whenever we are communicating, keep the required resources in the loop so that they will get aware of it. Otherwise, they might get surprises when we are discussing within the call. And artifacts are important and a very important concept where we have to keep discussing on the hurdles, challenges, and risks. So these three will be required. After that, if any challenges which we are facing, we have to tackle it immediately. And once the tackling will be done, maybe first we can discuss one-to-one, and after that, if it is not working, maybe we can escalate to stepwise. Maybe escalation level L1, L2, and L3 we can set it up. And at the time of moving, we have to create the troubleshooting documents or the Bible. I mean the Bible or the documentations which we can prepare it as a part of checklist. So that's all from this video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you think so, this will be useful, don't forget to share within your circle. So this will be complete end-to-end demonstration of Jira project management. We have covered everything from the project creations to closure. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. If you have any questions or you need further assistance, feel free to reach out to us. And if you think there's several other steps which might have to cover, add your steps in the comment section so that I can watch and update this. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.